Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the host of the Deep Woods Podcast, along with my wife, Amanda. We run Deep Woods Paranormal. We investigate everything paranormal in nature, including ghosts, UFOs, cryptid creatures, Bigfoots, Wolfman, Dogman, whatever you want to call them, lake monsters, river monsters, UFOs, aliens, and on and on and on and on. Anyways, if it's paranormal in nature, we investigate it. And yeah, you are seeing a crap ton of dolls and crap on the table behind me. There's also haunted objects back over here, over my right shoulder. And you got Elmo who talks, and then you got the little baby that also makes a creepy little sound. And then if you're watching the door behind me, every once in a while you'll see a shadow peek around the corner. Unfortunately, it's, what is it now? Almost 3 o'clock in the morning. So essentially, who knows what could happen. But there also are 5 dogs running around here, four dogs, I think, Tink's in with Amanda sleeping. So anyways, it's just been a really busy couple weeks. I apologize for not getting podcasts out. I'm trying to. What I try and do is do the podcast either when I'm going to work, where I have about 15, 20 minutes to talk, audio only, or do the same thing on the way home. But unfortunately, I just haven't had time either way because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of deer in the hang road right now. And so I'm 100% paying attention to what I'm doing and not able to stop and pull over and do a podcast. So I'm going to continue to try and do that. I do have this little device. I showed you guys this last time, but yeah, this little device has a little mic in here and a little piece that goes into the bottom of my phone. So essentially I can go through and be hands-free and turn the audio on at least. I can't do video, especially at night, because I work a lot of nights and it's just dark. All you would see is, if best case scenario, silhouette of me. So, and then there's no me showing you different things like we're going to talk about today. So let's start here. Let me go back just for a second. If you guys don't know, we have a thing on our YouTube channel. I don't know if it's over on our Rumble channel, but you can go on here and you can buy us a coffee. In the Rumble channel description, you can go down there and you can find this page. Essentially what it is we have a place where you can come on here and you can buy us a coffee. It's $3 a piece. We're trying to raise a couple $1,000s to get our business up off the ground. We've been able to upgrade our camera gear and a lot of the things. For example, we just got this. This is a microscope. It's digital. So essentially it hooks to the computer and I can zoom in on hairs, which we'll talk about in just a second. I can look in and see if I can see if it's a true hair or just, maybe it's, something else. Maybe it's plastic or whatever. And then we can go from there and make sure that it's real before we try and go send this off to a lab and have them, and spend however much money and have them go, sorry, this isn't even real hair. So we can at least analyze that. Maybe we can even look at the footprints or the castings a little closer, and we can look for the prints like you see on your hand, where you have all these ridges, thermal ridges. We can look for that too and stuff like that. So that's going to be a very helpful piece of gear. But anyways, if you want to help us out, you can come on here and donate towards buying us a copy, or you can come on the wish list. We are trying to pick up a few of these things. We would like to get a secondary camera. This other Canon camera we just got is amazing. It's really cool. It's very high quality. Audio is great. Video is really good too on it, especially for night vision. This is an IR flashlight that basically will help us to see further. It's already working with the other camera. We put it in where the microphone goes, because the audio on that camera doesn't need a microphone. It's that good. From time to time, if we're doing interviews, we'll have, connection. Basically, you'll see somebody probably wearing a microphone. But other than that, and then also we're trying to get this little flare. It's only $649 right now, which is good. It's usually $1,000. So we're trying to get a thermal video camera because the other thermal imager we had, video camera, had to be returned, unfortunately. So we're trying to upgrade this, and it's just a way to see into the dark, see what you can't see, especially with Bigfoot activity. We've had very good luck in the past with the thermal imagers doing ghost hunting, and we do have a thermal imager. It just takes pictures. It doesn't take video. Okay, so let's get back to what we're talking about here. All right, so you guys have seen this map a million times. This is my Google Maps. I don't know why everything disappears when I zoom out. If you know why and you know how to fix this, please leave a comment in the description below. I'd appreciate your help. So we're focusing here just on Texas, and then we'll go through. And as you start to zoom in, you can see all these pins. You got Louisiana over here, you got Arkansas, you got Kansas, and then you've got Oklahoma, you've got Kansas, all that stuff. You got New Mexico, and then you've got Mexico as well. So so let's zoom in here. All right, if you notice something, there's a lot of pins on the right side of Texas, from top to bottom, and then you kind of get to the middle, and they're kind of a little bit more spread out. Now, I'm starting to wonder if I'm missing something. Let me zoom in kind of closer to my area. I've talked about the Brazos Valley quite a lot. I think I've done 3 different podcasts on it, talking about UFO activity, talking about the cattle mutilations and stuff like that. And then also basically talking about Bigfoots, of course, too. But this is the Bigfoot only podcast, so we're going to talk about Bigfoot. All right, so as we talked about before, Bastrop. You can go back and watch the videos from Bastrop. I've had a lot of luck, maybe dealing with possible juvenile Bigfoots in this area. But my question's always been, okay, mom and where the babies are down here along the Colorado River, down in a wilderness preserve camping area. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but they're there. I've been down there 4 different times, and I've had 4 different sightings 4 different times. And I'm not going to get into it. You guys can go watch those videos. Look back for those. The whole reason I went down here was because somebody said they saw a Slender Man here, and I went, okay, maybe. I'm not a disbeliever, but I'm not a believer until I have my own. And I always say this to you guys. I always expect. Well, I don't expect anybody to believe. Excuse me. Let me try this again. It's 3 a.m. My brain's starting to shut down. I don't expect anyone to believe in anything paranormal until they've had an experience where they can say that couldn't be anything else but. And in this case, we're going to put the word Bigfoot in there. But you could say ghost, you could say UFO, you could say alien, you could say anything. And you can apply that to other things too. Anyways, let's switch over here to the terrain map. And you kind of see a little bit better. So here's a UFO sighting. So this is where I originally went for basically to look for UFOs and Slender Man. But when we got down here, we found Bigfoots. And I've walked pretty much from this camp all the way down this section here. Now, this area over on this other side, I don't think it's touched. On the other side of the Colorado River, across from the park there. And if you're wondering what campsite I'm talking about, it's a Bastrop County nature park / boat ramp. And then there's the Bastrop County Natural Park. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. And this is all along the Colorado River, along Riverside Drive and Bastrop. So if you're looking for this, there was... I've shown this before on something. I can't remember if it was a podcast or not. But I zoomed in on this area, actually, right next to this is a tire shop or something along Riverside Drive. And I zoomed in, and basically, as I zoomed in, I saw what looks like a Bigfoot standing behind a tree, or standing between some trees in the brush. And that's a Google thing. So if you're ever interested, what's the name of this shop? It's called Bastrop, and it just says Bass County. It doesn't say the name of the shop, unfortunately. But if you zoom in here, there's a little shop here. And it's right off of... Oh, I'm not even trying to say that name. But anyways, it's there's a little tire shop along the Colorado River. And there's the island kind of next to it. And then there's some... Looks like some farmland or... That looks like farmland to me. So essentially, this is pretty open. This whole section, even though it's farmland, I mean, you could walk through the middle there, middle of the night, nobody would ever probably see you, especially if you're being quiet. And if you believe in Bigfoots, they're pretty much ninjas. If they don't want you to know that they're there, there's a very good chance you're not going to experience them. They're not going to see them. It's only usually when they want you to know that they're there that you'll know. They'll either make a sound, they'll do a tree knock maybe, they'll do a whoop, a scream, a howl, they'll make some other kind of noise, maybe sound like trying to mimic an animal. Sometimes they'll whistle. Sometimes they'll click rocks together, which sounds like click, 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 click. I've talked about that a million times. And they'll also they'll also show themselves every once in a while, especially if they're, I don't know, I think that if they're just being aggressive and you're just not, taking their, get the heck out seriously, they may actually come out and charge at you. They have a lot of the same mannerisms as other apes that I kind of studied, and gorillas and chimpanzees and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm getting kind of way off course here, but this Pine Forest Golf Club, there's so many deer in here, and then I have crew members that I drop off up in this area, up in this residential area from time to time, and we see deer all through there. I've actually driven up through here. It's more of a mountain. It's really cool. I mean, if I was going to live in the forest, I would like to live out in this area. Anyways, it's kind of a secluded area. Sorry, I'm getting growled at by the puppy. Come here, dude. So yeah, I mean, this is a cool area. Now, I was always wondering, okay, so you got possibly juveniles being dropped off along the river. Maybe they've been doing this for hundreds of years or thousands of years. I have no idea. Maybe it's been happening for a very long time, and that's just a place for them, mom and dad, to drop the kids off during the day, and they can hang out in the trees or whatever and kind of stay out of the way. They can cool down in the Colorado River. But my question was, either they're my size, and that's how big they get there. They don't get any bigger, which could be, or mom and dad are somewhere close. I mean, you go to this golf club, the damn deer, excuse my language, the deer are just everywhere. I mean, they're easy pickings. If a Bigfoot really wanted to go out and grab one, they could easily run out there and grab one and walk away. And it would be easy for them. I could probably do it. I could probably run up there real quick if I was being stealthy enough. I could run out there and grab a deer, probably break its neck and drag it into the trees, and the other deer wouldn't know what happened. So I'm always looking for areas around this area where there's Bastrop State Park. So we've talked about Bastrop State Park before. I'm not gonna get into this, but I mean, look at this big swath of green. And why aren't there any other reports out in this area? If you're looking at the map, you're watching this. This LUECKE is really actually in the forest. They cut the forest down to make this sign. I believe it's actually it's Lukey Farms. I did some research on this. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of like you can see this from space. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, did somebody just like stamp this on a Google Maps or something like that? But it's real. They cut the trees in that pattern to be able to be seen all the way up in space. And I don't know if they have any Bigfoot over there or not, but anyways, so that's kind of getting away from what we were talking about. But if you're watching this podcast, you're looking at that going, was that real? It's real. They really cut the trees in that to say their name. All right. So let's see. We have a new client, and I'm not going to show you exactly where he lives. Let me find where he lives. Just bear with me for a second here. Where is College Station? That's Brenham. Okay, so we're going to go up here just a little. So you saw Bastrop down here. We know there's reports of Bigfoots here. And then let's see, what's this? More pens here.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Attention car shoppers. Right now at South Carolina Federal Credit Union, you can get a new or used auto loan and pay nothing until 2024, and no payments for 90 days means nothing out of pocket going into the new year. Plus, we have flexible rates and terms, so you could make the best financial choice for you. Learn more at scfederal.org/auto loans. That's scfederal.org/auto loans. Certain restrictions apply. Existing South Carolina Federal credit loans are excluded.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Egan. Okay. And Elm Creek. Okay, so I'm guessing there's some Bigfoot pins here as well. I have all my paranormal stuff basically pinned out here, but usually it says, what is it saved in? Donkey Lady. Okay, so that's not a Bigfoot sighting. This one is. Okay, so the pin in Elgin, excuse me, I misspoke. That is a Bigfoot sighting. So this one here. So you got Bigfoot's here down in Bastrop. You got them up here in Elgin. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. What's this here? Yellow Fever Cemetery. That's ghost sightings. And then, yeah, that's also ghost sightings. Okay, so we don't have any Bigfoot pins there. Let's go over here. What's this pin here? We're in Snook. What is this saved as? Oh, Bigfoot sighting. Okay. So we got a Bigfoot sighting there. What's this one over here? Bushy Creek Regional Trail. That's also a Bigfoot sighting. Okay. Here's a round. Yeah, okay. So let's go up here. What's this one? Williams County. Saved as Bigfoot sighting. Okay, so Williams County does have quite a few Bigfoot reports, and this is kind of where we're looking. But if I zoom out, okay, so look at this. Here's Waco up at the top. You got Austin at the bottom, and then you got, basically, let's just say Brenham over here where the next pen is. In between those areas, of course, Bastrop, there's a big chunk of land here where there's no pens. And I've been looking at this and looking at this and looking at this, going, why aren't there more Bigfoot sightings in this area? It's very rural. It's not like it's developed. And the more I looked at it, I'm like, okay, this is a big chunk of land. You're talking miles, hundreds of miles, where there's no, like from us to College Station, from College Station over to, what is this pen? Bushy Creek, it's got to be 50, 60 miles, maybe more. And if you know the exact measurements, you're welcome to comment down below. Anyways, we have a client that lives real close to Rockdale, Texas. He doesn't live in Rockdale. He lives out in here somewhere. And so I was talking to him, and he was telling me that, he's been there for a long time. I think he owns 3 plots of land. I think he owns, 20? He owns 10, 20, and 6. So he owns almost 40 acres of land out in this area. Now, this area is also an area known for cattle mutilations and UFO sightings. We just don't have a lot of pens in this area because we have not gotten a lot of reports in this area. If you've experienced a UFO, a Bigfoot, or ghost, or anything else paranormal, a UFO sighting, you've had your cattle mutilated. I understand if you don't want to comment in the comments down below. If you go into the description, has my phone number, has my email. You can go on our website and you can click on there. And, let me just show you real quick here. Let's go to the podcast. See, when you come onto our website, you'll go to the homepage. Let's click on the homepage real quick. Okay, so this is our homepage. I probably need to revamp it. But you can put information here. First name, last name. You can just put your first name in if you want. Your email, and you can leave us a message. Or you can contact us through the messenger. So you can go in here and type a message. That comes to us. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but it does come to us. I use this to basically link to our accounts. But you can see all our podcasts are here. There's over almost 150 now. So you can keep loading. And you can choose which ones you want. Podcast, Bigfoot, the normal podcasts. You can Cryptid podcasts. And I know Bigfoot's kind of a cryptid, but it's so popular, it's just kind of on its own. Anyways, let's get back to this map. So I'm out there because it's, again, this goes to what I've talked about so many times. For some reason, ghosts and Bigfoots seem to go together. If it seems to be haunted, it might have, if it's a chunk of land that seems to be haunted, there's a good chance you can find Bigfoots there. Because a lot of the things that are considered to be ghosts, like the woman's like screaming bloody murder, that could, a lot of people contribute that to ghosts and haunting. That could also be a Bigfoot. Now, we got to be careful because deer and a few other animals make a very similar sound to that. So at this point in time, it really has to be caught on audio. And then essentially we're going to have it compared to what the sound of a deer dying and a few other animals dying sound like, just to make sure. Now, the more I've done the research, into different noises, and I've had a lot of influences from other people that are hunters, that are ranchers, and that basically live out in the country, and they hear these noises all the time, have given me feedback, and hey, that's a good catch, but that's this. And it sucks to have your evidence, basically, I hate the word debunked, but to find an alternate explanation that fits, and you go, it's disappointing, let's put it that way. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, this chunk of land, there's just no reports. Look at this. There's this big, huge chunk of land. You got Rockdale. You got Milano, which I drive through all the time. You got Caldwell, Giddings. You got Brenham does have activity, and then when you get all the way to Austin, Udo, Cameron, Rosebud. What's that, Rosebud? Yeah, I think it says Rosebud. I know Hearn has paranormal activity, but Belton, all these little areas, there's got to be information about Bigfoot stuff here. Like I said, I met this new client. We went out there to do some ghost hunting and to try and get him some answers. And as he starts describing things to me, he says, like, yeah, I keep seeing this shadow, like it's like darting around my property. And the more we talked about it, I'm like, there's a possibility that could be a Bigfoot. And he's like, no, it's not Bigfoot. I'm like, are you sure? And as I started asking questions, he was kind of like, oh, okay, well, there's a possibility. And recently he just said, yeah, I think I saw a Bigfoot on my property. We were there. I wasn't there very long. It was just so dang hot. It's been so miserably hot here, guys. It's been, almost impossible to get out and do investigations, because 5 minutes in, you're soaked from sweat. It's like 90 some odd degrees out during the nighttime. It's 100% humidity, and you're just being drained. All you're doing is sitting there drinking water, and as fast as you're drinking, you're sweating it back out. And so we're sitting there looking for UFOs and stuff like that. We're about to wrap that up. But this client of ours also said, hey, yeah, I know about the cattle mutilations. And there's the people around him have cattle. So that can of worm, I just can't seem to get the lid back on that can of worms. But yeah, I mean, I've talked to more and more and more witnesses, but nobody wants to come forward and really talk about it on camera. And then a few people that were willing to do it, unfortunately, now have been threatened. Their livelihood's been threatened and stuff like that, and they've been told to drop it. So again, we're just being very careful about how we present their cases, if you will. That's Mr. Chance hopping on the couch in here in the Deep Woods Paranormal office. Anywho, so yeah, I'm looking for reports in these areas. There's like a triangle of activity where I think I just think I'm missing something. I think I'm missing several pins here. I'm pretty sure there should be like pins like everywhere in here. This whole spot. I talked about several places along the 6 freeway, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm missing a big chunk of pins here. I mean, you come along the 35 here, there's all kinds of sightings. I don't know what freeway this is. This is the 290. There's a few off there. And then, of course, Bastrop, the 21 in Bastrop. But like I said, in between there, I mean, if you take the 290 going from Austin to Houston, and then you, what freeway is this? This is the 35 going up towards Waco, and then you bring the 6 back towards, let's just say, all the way back down to Houston, and you make a triangle, basically here, Waco to Austin to let's just say the edge of Houston here, maybe Spring, Texas, and then come back up, all on the outside of that where I just talked about, I have pins, and I have a few scattered inside, very, very few inside of that triangle. But this triangle, I think it's just missing a bunch of pins. So I'm just curious as to, are there a lot more things going on that I'm not knowing about? I mean, I met that client, and he's like, yeah, there's been Bigfoot reports in this area for years. You know, he has a neighbor that's an elderly gentleman, and that's all he talks about. He talks about the Bigfoot sighting. I gotta get an opportunity to go meet him when I go back to the client's house. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll hopefully be able to have a conversation with him and pick his brain. But basically, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of sightings, in my opinion, that I think I'm missing out here. So if you've had, some kind of Bigfoot activity, you've heard a scream, you've heard a howl, you've heard some tree knocks, whatever, please contact me again. You don't have to you don't have to leave a comment in the description below. You can find my email, you can find my cell phone number, you can call me, text me. We're getting all kinds of people calling and texting us. And which is awesome. We're so excited to get to talk to you guys and meet you guys. And we appreciate everybody making the nice comments. Thank you guys again for that. And thank you to all our new subscribers, especially in Rumble. We are kicking butt and taking names. I think we're closing in on 550 people on that. Maybe more. I just haven't I've been trying to pay attention to it. But Fridays, Saturdays are my day to just sit down and grind. That's Friday morning at 3:16. So after this, I'm going to catch a couple hours of sleep and then get back up and maybe do another podcast or whatever. We're going to talk about Dogman. I keep getting all kinds of reports of Dogman in this area as well. I've been told, it's much wider spread than what I've been told. But again, my focus is this section here of the map. There's a big chunk of possible Bigfoot sightings and maybe some other stuff, hauntings and everything else missing from here, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I'm getting all kinds of messages and stuff. My phone's just alerting me like crazy. But anyways, yeah, so the Rockdale area in this chunk of land between Rockdale, Milano, Caldwell, and Lexington, I'm starting to wonder if there's a whole Bigfoot area here that I'm completely missing. When I was standing there with him at the end of the night, we were just chit-chatting about, the investigation and how it went and all this other stuff. And as we're sitting there, I'm hearing something just moving through the brush. I'm like, okay, it's probably just a deer. But then I turned around and I thought I heard a tree knock, just really loud. And I'm like, okay, wait, was that a tree knock? And he looked at me, he's like, yeah. And we heard a couple throughout the night. And so there's a helicopter going by at 3:00 in the morning for some reason. But we heard tree knocks throughout the night as we're investigating. I think I left there around midnight, 1:00 in the morning. We're going to have to do a later investigation. In fact, he's got a pond on his property, and he says that there's tree bins and trees snapped off pretty high up. I did not get to see that, so we're going to have to go in there and help him carve a path.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Out to that portion of his property, it's just all overgrown. It's pretty thick. And so it's pretty much inaccessible at this point in time. I gotta go out there with a machete and sorry, that dog's playing behind me. But I gotta go out there with a machete and help him kind of clean up that area so we can get back there. My goal would be to, just like Joe's, go out there and maybe put a tent up, spend the night, see if I experience anything. And maybe he'll come out with me and maybe Amanda and maybe a few others. If you're waiting to come out with us on an investigation, especially a Bigfoot investigation, we will be doing that soon. I have lots of places lined up. In fact, we have more investigations lined up right now than we can get to. When Joe wants us to come back out, if you... Sorry, that's Mama Dog. She gets possessed and she likes to talk. Or that's Shorty. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Shorty. That's Mama Dog's puppy. That's her son. Anyways, he talks. Yeah, dog that talks. Anyways, talking about paranormal. So yeah, I got Joe's camp we gotta go do again. I know we've done a couple of documentaries out there, but things have changed. I want to get out there, and he's in the heart of Bigfoot territory. He's out in the Sabine National Forest. If you don't know where the Sabine National Forest is, I'll just show you over here. So he lives right in this area here somewhere. So this is basically the Sabine National Forest over here. What does it say? Sabine National Forest. All right, bear with me here. Here we go, Sabine County. So this is Sabine National Forest in this general area. So, yeah, basically Joe lives in this area somewhere. We've actually been down to this lake. This lake is massive. It's massive. It looks like an ocean along the Texas-Louisiana border. And if I cruise out here, you can just see all the pens. I mean, this is probably not all of them, but this is what I've been able to find so far and what I've been able to experience. So there's a lot more, to be a lot more pens in this area. But like I said, we've got this like arrowhead shaped, area between Waco, Austin, and we'll just say College Station, if you will, where there's clusters of sightings all around it, but there's nothing in the middle. And so this is a new target area for me now, because this isn't very far away. Rockdale for me is only about an hour away, maybe a little more, depending on if I need to stop or not. So yeah, I mean, this area now, my ears are starting to perk up, because I go through Milano, I go through Rockdale, I go through Thorndale, Thrall. I was just in Taylor tonight dropping a crew off. This whole area, I drive this all the time, but yet I'm hearing that this area may be a really good place to go look for Bigfoots. Again, I was saying that if you're wanting to come out with us and investigate Bigfoot, please be patient. What I'm doing is I'm setting up these investigations. Like I said, I've got we're working with David down here in the Sam Houston National Forest. I've got Joe's camp up here And then now we're working over in this section. This case right now is the most important thing to us. Even if I have to put the show on hold for now. Every time I try and close out the first show, it just seems like more people come forward. Hey, you gotta come check out my property. And so that can of worms, like I said, I just can't get the lid on that can of worms. And so essentially that's what's going on. Let me stop sharing my screen. Well, like I said, we got a lot of cases lined up. I think this new client's property could be very interesting. He's got UFOs, he's got ghosts, he's got Bigfoot. Who knows what the hell else? Excuse my language. What the heck else he's got out there? So we'll find out, I guess. I think we're probably going to spend 2 or 3 weekends out there, trying to get into the pond area where he said, that's where he has all those tree bends and stuff. There are cattle around there. There's a lot of deer and stuff like that. And so we're going to be doing a lot of research in there. We'll be doing some ghost hunting there. That he's agreed to let us do a show there. So you'll have ghosts and you'll have Bigfoots and whatever else. In that show, probably you'll see us investigate ghosts and then probably go, camp and try and investigate Bigfoots too. That's a lot of Joe's is too. Joe's property is haunted by his old family members. He's had that property. His family's owned that property since before the Civil War. That's not just his property. They owned tens of thousands of acres, 100,000 acres, maybe more up there, just spread across the whole Sabine National Forest. And so, but his property is like a hotspot for Bigfoots. They seem to come across his property. I've talked about Joe's camp a million times. So, yeah, and then I got to go back with David and finish doing our investigation there. Like I said on one of the last podcasts, we've had a lot of activity at Joe's camp. I'm sorry, at Downbore by where David is too. So he's helping me as well with that. He's doing his own research down there, and we're trying to pinpoint certain areas to do investigations in. The problem with this, with the Sam Houston National Forest, is there's so many people down there doing investigations into Bigfoot, and you have screams and everybody's doing screams and howls and whatever else, tree knocks. So, you just don't know if it's, I do a tree knock and maybe somebody 4 or 5 miles, 10 miles up the road hears it and does a one back, and we're just doing tree knocks back and forth and thinking it's a Bigfoot. So again, I don't like false positives, if you will. I don't like to have fake evidence, even if it's not done on purpose. I just don't like to have fake evidence. And what's cool about David is he's been out in the wilderness his whole life. He's a little younger than me, I think. He's in his mid-40s. But he knows all the sounds. He knows all of the sounds the animals make. And so if we have a question, we can ask him, and he can tell us, nope, that's a this or that's a that. So he'll be helping us basically kind of as an expert. And we'll be able to, not just for the Sam Houston National Forest, but any other Bigfoot location we go to, or Dogman or whatever we're researching, he'll be able to tell us, yes or no, that is or isn't a noise that he's ever heard. So having an expert be able to say, okay, this is this and this is that. I'm starting to meet some people over at Texas A&M, some of the professors, and we're getting some information from them. In fact, one of the people lives here in our cul-de-sac. I kind of talked about her before, and she's an agriculturist. I think she's not, but she basically does plants. And so, a lot of the times there's weird trees being snapped off or trees bending over. I just want to know for sure that isn't a natural phenomenon. And I mean, not just that, hey, that tree was blown over in the wind, or that tree was, bowed over during the wind. I want to make sure that tree, I want to make sure it's real. I don't want, like I said, I just don't want false positives. want real information, right? If I'm presenting stuff as Bigfoot, I want to make sure that it's real and not, just something that, oh, that happens naturally. Now we have found trees that have been bent over in the middle of the night, and they're either hooked on the bottom of another branch, or they're woven through something, or they're pushed down into the ground. The top of the tree is. But I mean, we get trees that are 30, 40 feet tall, and they're like bent over in a loop. Sometimes blinds and stuff like that. And of course, I've talked about having obstacles pulled across the trail. Get up 10 feet up the trail and turn around and what the heck? Come back down and there's a log in the middle of where we just walked, or there's a vine pulled across, woven into the next bush, so you can't get through. You have to undo it. But I think Bigfoots are kind of comical sometimes. They're like, nope, you're not coming back this way. No, you're not going through this way.
And it happens to me a lot of shows. It's kind of like almost playful.
But they don't really want you in their area. So this is my territory. All right, guys. I'm getting tired. I am starting to ramble on, as per normal. But yeah, we will I think we're going to do an investigation with all these crazy dolls behind us. There's a lot of old dolls here. Recently, came in one day and I'm smelling like what smells like somebody baking some kind of treats. And I'm like, oh, and I know. And then Amanda was home. So I'm like, what the heck? And I went in and the oven's cold and everything. And that smell was only in this office. I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. Somebody knows how to bake. And then it's happened 3 or 4 times since we brought most of these dolls in here. There's been different things that have happened. Sometimes we see entities. Oh, I think something just moved. Oh, yep. So look into the doorway where there's light. There's a big shadow, but there's a light right on that wall. Something just blocked out the light. Right, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but right here, something just blocked out the light. The shadowy figure that kind of stays in there is just below this light switch. It's not very tall. I would say it's maybe 3, maybe 4 feet tall, tops. Now there is an old Indian woman that I haven't seen her since after we moved in. It's been a long time, but she's not very tall either. She's just maybe pushing 4 feet. If she's lucky, maybe 5 feet if she's lucky. But I think that light's less than 5 feet. So something just definitely blocked out the the light there. So yeah, there's a little kid that likes to hang out in the hallway. She's been experienced multiple times, not just by me, but by other people too. So anyways, I don't know if she's attached to the dolls back here, or if she's attached to maybe something else, or maybe she just followed me home from an investigation, or maybe Amanda. I don't know. I don't know what she's attached to, or if she's attached to anything at all. But anyways, all right, guys. You're welcome to watch back here and watch the hallway as I'm talking. And then, if you listen through the audio, hey, Bob, no. All right, time to go. They're screaming. All right, guys. Well, we will catch you on the next one, and you guys have a good one. Stay haunted.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.